always known that I wanted to be a writer, but coming from an Asian family, writing is not something that your family wants you to do. And I remember when I was 7, which is many centuries ago, I was asked, what would you like to be when you grow up? And I don't know where it came from. I said I wanted to be a writer, and I remember that my mother cried, and I thought I did something really, really bad. So I thought it was always suppressed. I always knew I wanted to write, but I had to prove to her that I didn't have any aptitude for the sciences. So I went through the whole thing, to right up to pre-med and all that. And finally they realized that that was not really, I was not cut out to be that. I actually became a journalist before I became a writer. And then I liked journalism, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And so I would write on the side, novels and short stories and things like that. But I remember one day I was in a library and I saw a book on Madame Mao, Mao Zedong's wife. And for some reason I saw her, the first line that jumped out on me was, "Let me dissect myself before you," because Madame Mao at that time was not well known in the West, and she wanted to be known in the West. It was the height of the Cultural Revolution. And I thought that was such a dramatic statement, "Let me dissect myself before you." I mean, who speaks like that, So I thought this would be so great because she wanted to be an actress at one time, and that became the germ of my idea to do a one-person play based on her life. And so I wrote this play called Madame Mao's Memories, which was a one-person play. And after I finished it, I didn't know what to do with it. I was so naive, and I said, okay, I'll send it out to 10 theaters in Los Angeles, and I did. Of course, I didn't hear anything. And finally, at one cast party, I mentioned to one of the artistic directors, I said, I sent my play to you. He said, you did? He said, let me go look for it. He called me the next day. He said, do you want to do a reading of this? And I was really excited about it. I said, sure, why not? And so I went back to look at the script, and I was horrified because it was really, really bad. I mean, even I knew it was bad. And so, but then because I had an actual reading that was going to be scheduled, I really worked hard on it, and I came up with something that was quite decent. So we did the reading, and then they wanted to do the play, and that was the beginning of it. Years later, I found out that he'd really never read the play. He wanted to do it because he had a grant to do readings from minority writers. So I always believe in this cosmic universe that something will happen. You don't really have to plan things happen, but you do need to do the work. A lot of what the play is about is how we choose to do things, how I as a kid chose to delay my instinct of wanting to write, and how it affected me later on, and how I at some point I said, I'm going to take charge of my life and I'm going to be a writer. Every choice that you make in life has consequences, and it reverberates in other ways. There are all these things that happen, and they all lead to what the story is about. And then it not only happens with him, but it also happens with everyone else who's around him. The whole society, the whole cosmic universe. So I see this as a very broad thing, but told through the perspective of one man.
There's so much sort of unanswered questions about him and what happened with the murder. And since I don't know what Sweet Karma is going to delve into, it's definitely something that I was going to ask you about what you do with that ending of mystery in the play.
Come and see the play.
Okay.
Good answer.
That's a good answer.